Those of you who know me quite well know that I don't buy easily into reported apparitions. They have to be checked out. I went over there to Syria because Our Lady of Soufanieh and what is happening there is not well known in the English-speaking world. I met with the Orthodox Syriac Patriarch. I met with the Melkite Catholic Patriarch. I met with the Papal Nuncio, Orthodox Archbishop, various priests who have been part of this from the very beginning. And I can tell you, I really checked this out. It's really happening. Jesus is calling for unity among Christians. 200 of these replicas have been giving forth oil throughout the world as well. Jesus founded only one church. And in connection with Our Lady of Soufanieh, he said, "He who divided it has sinned, and he who rejoices in these divisions among Christians have sinned." The church is the mystical body of Christ. It's a supernatural divine organism. It should not be divided. This is painful to the heart of Jesus. It's painful to the heart of his mother. All of this is taking place in Soufanieh, a couple-minute walk where the Apostle St. Paul was converted. He was a fanatic among the Pharisees and was persecuting the Christians. Now Jesus is coming with Mary in a very area where St. Paul was converted and went forth to convert the Christian world with his famous 3 missionary journeys and calling Christians back into oneness. And it must start in the family. They have an ideal Christian family there. And in Muslim land, these Orthodox and Catholics are coming together every night of the year. I said Mass there before the original miraculous icon of Our Lady of Soufanieh every day while I was there for a week. They call it the Virgin's House of Soufanieh. I went to the chapel of Ananias. Remember how St. Paul was told to go into the city? Ananias was told to go to the city called, to the street called Straight, and there he would meet Saul of Tarsus. And he was to instruct him and baptize him. Saul, who became St. Paul, who wrote most of the New Testament of the Bible. We're going to take a break now, and then I'll be back to continue. Was a fanatic and was persecuting the Christians on the road to Damascus when he was struck down in the blinding light. "Who are you, Lord?" "I am Jesus of Nazareth, whom you are persecuting. Why do you persecute me?" St. Paul was so taken up with the word me. Why did he say me? I was persecuting his followers. Well, he was struck blind. He had to go into the town, meet the priest Ananias, who baptized him. The scales fell from his eyes, and he becomes the great missionary. And we were talking about how in the midst of all of this in Damascus at Soufanieh, and this has the church approval over there, and the Pope is aware of all of this. Many are being called back to Jesus Christ, to the church, and the church unity, and it's having a great effect on the union of the Orthodox with the Catholic Church. You know, there are about as many Orthodox Christians in the world as there are Protestants who are divided into thousands of different denominations. No one can effectively communicate Jesus Christ and have Jesus Christ formed in oneself and be instrumental in having Jesus Christ formed in others unless there is much prayer and suffering. I didn't find it easy recently to go all around the world, across the Pacific, down into Australia, then into Syria, across the Atlantic back. I went there and I gave many talks. in different parts of Australia. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy to go into Syria, where in the very last hours I got sick and saw the miracle of Our Lady of Soufanieh. I saw the oil come forth. I came very, very sick. And I had been offering Mass every day in a Virgin House of Soufanieh. And coming back, I knew it was going to be very difficult right after the terrorist attack. And so I had decided I would say Mass at midnight in order that I wouldn't miss Mass coming back. It took me 2 days to get back. And I became very sick, and I was going to cancel out saying the Mass. I was so sick that I thought I was afraid I might faint. Well, these good people in this ideal Christian community of love in the middle of Muslim land were not about to take no for an answer. That night, there was almost all young people there. Towards the midnight, when we offered the Holy Sacrifice of the Mass, right at the spot where Our Lady appeared, and also Jesus came, asking for Christian unity, love and unity in the home, love and unity in the church, that the Christians must become one again. I offered the Holy Sacrifice of the Mass. And at the end of the Mass, a good priest by the name of Father Elias, Melkite, Rite Catholic and Arab, said, "Father, look, look." And here was Myrna with her hand bubbling for olive oil. The first time this happened, the olive oil coming forth from her hands was so profuse, it flowed over down onto the floor, and there the oil formed the suffering face of Jesus Christ. Now, this has been ongoing from at least 19 years now, 19 to 20 years. God is using this family to call for Christian unity. It's winning the favor of both the Orthodox and the Catholic. I've told you, I believe, that I talked to the Orthodox Patriarch. I talked to the Melkite Rite Catholic Patriarch. The Pope knows about this. And more, I met a young man there that night who was Muslim, and just 3 weeks before he was baptized into the Catholic Church. And sometimes among Muslim, you're endangering your life if you become a Catholic. He became a Catholic, and now he wants to be a priest. God love you. We'll be back in another series.